afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you're coming to us from. Welcome to episode 33 of the BombCast with our very special guest, Chris Brown, a returning guest. This guy is so good and so strategic in the ways that he's using video that we had to bring him back and get into some of those strategies today. So if you're just joining us, drop a comment in. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're coming to us from. Drop us a heart, a like, so that we know you're here. Before I go on any further, Chris, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, howdy, folks. This is what I'm known for quite a bit with the videos that I send out is the top bubble. And Jason, that introduction is very humbling. I'm grateful both for the platform that you guys have created and for the very, very kind words, man. I'm just a squirrel looking for a nut just like everybody else.
So, Chris, tell us a little bit about the industry that you're in and kind of what you do day to day.
Yeah, great. So I help people make smart choices when it comes to financing real estate, which is a strategic way to say, I do mortgages. And it's one of those things that is very high, what's the word I'm looking for? Ticket price item, and people can kind of be somewhat intimidated by. And when they're going out looking for a trusted resource, that's where video can build that link that may otherwise be lacking in that clickety clack of a keyboard, Jason.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. So today we're gonna be talking about some key things. So if you're just joining us, you're gonna want to hang out for the entirety of this episode, because we're gonna talk a little bit about Chris's journey of how he got to sending over 3,500 videos over just the last few years. We're gonna get into some strategies of the exact types of videos. In fact, we're gonna be watching some of Chris's videos, dissecting them, giving you all ideas of how you can be using this in your business. So whether you're in real estate or mortgage or sales, or it doesn't really matter, these are gonna be practical tips that you're gonna be putting into place starting today if you choose. So,
Absolutely.
So Chris, tell us a little bit about that journey. How did you first start getting into video? Oh, I think it was about 3 years ago that it looks like you really started kind of ramping it up.
Yeah, so the journey begins like any other journey, Jason, and that's taking the first step. And I was inspired by a couple things. Number one, I saw that video is more and more of where we're going, not less and less. And when I kind of got over myself, if you will, and realized, it's not about perfection, it's about direction. And what really kind of crystallized that thought process for me was a blog post that I read by Michael Hyatt, who's a leadership and productivity coach. And it's called The Law of Incremental Change. And if we just get 1% better every week, a year from now, we're more than 50% better, right? But this idea that we got to go from 0 to perfect in one video, we're setting ourselves up for failure. And what we're doing is we're giving ourselves an excuse not to take action.
I love that. So you decided to kind of that process to get over yourself and start getting on camera. What was that process like? Because I know a lot of people that are watching, it doesn't matter whether you're just starting off with video or you've been doing it for a while. It's sometimes hard to get in front of the camera. What was that 1% movement that you did that got you to the point where you're just comfortable cranking videos out?
Yeah, so great question, because I think, there's probably a handful, maybe more, of people watching this that are like, they know in their heart and in their spirit, hey, video is something I need to integrate in my business, but they've just got that mental hurdle of, something's holding them back. And guys, every expert was once a beginner. I went through that exact same challenge. And the first thing is push perfection aside. I remember recording videos 20, 21 times, attempting to get it just right. And if you're anything like me, if it's not quick and executable, I ain't got time to do something that's a huge, big project, right? And you're probably like me in that respect. So when I got over the idea of perfection and using video just as an authentic way to deliver who I am and being genuine with folks, and then being able to see a real person, that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be Johnny Depp on Pirates of the Caribbean and just nailing the script. Because when you do that, who can relate to that, right? It's more about people just seeing who you are and seeing your mannerisms and your smile and that kind of thing. I remember, if I could add one last point on that, Jason, Steve at BombBomb was doing a presentation, and he talked about his father and how his father would sign his notes to him. And he showed up held up a little picture, and it had Dad with a smiley face. And you could almost just feel the personality of his father coming out of that. But now with emails, when he gets an email from his dad, it's just script, right? DAD.
It's the same as everyone else, all the other dads. Absolutely. So getting kind of coming to that place of realizing, okay, I got to do that. And I would imagine, again, this is a theme, a story that we hear often, and probably a lot of the people that are watching maybe are in that same experience. They understand that they need to kind of begin that movement. Tell us, as we kind of get into some of the strategies here, I want to kind of hear, what was the process like for you, where you think back to those first 100 videos, where you think back to kind of the first 200 videos. What were you doing then, and how were you executing? And tell us a little bit maybe about some of the lessons learned kind of through that process.
Yeah, so a couple of the first things that I learned, obviously watch your video and determine if you just do a huge gaffe where it's like, okay, to be professional, I need to do it over, or if it's just human and unique and holding on to that. But one of the first things I learned that I changed is I used to click like, okay, record, and then I'd look, and then it would flash. What I love about the tool that you guys provide is it kind of gives you that visual cue, okay, go, and you don't have to be looking right at the screen to see it. You can be looking at the camera. But the first thing is, and it feels kind of weird, but you got to start smiling. So it begins like this instead of going like this and then smiling. So that's just one of those little micro things that makes a difference. And I also learned to look into the camera. And that can be a challenge, especially when you have the video player like over to the side. Because if I start talking like this, I can see myself talking. But the user experience isn't what you're looking to have them experience, because the asymmetricalness of the BombBomb and video communication is you send it when it's convenient for you. They watch it when it's convenient for them. But as far as when they're watching it, they're viewing this as a one-on-one conversation. So along that line, another tip is when you're talking, if you're sending it to a group, don't say everybody or all y'all. That's Southern for y'all, or plural for y'all, or anything, because they only see that as a one-on-one communication. So use your language in the singular when you're having that video recorded.
Love it. Those are tactics that are crucial for people's success, and those little things that differentiate when you're sending out these types of videos. I want to make sure the audience knows as well. Drop your questions in. We'll watch the comments come in. If you've got questions for Chris about his video journey, that's one of the benefits of being able to watch live is your interaction with us. So drop those in. I'll make sure to ask those to Chris. So as you got in, you kind of began practicing and you began sending more and more videos. Let's talk a little bit about kind of maybe then that from the 1,000 to 2,000 video journey, right? So the very beginning, just looking in the camera lens, some of the more basic things, but maybe there's some of the viewers that are watching with us as well that have been doing this for a little while. What have you learned kind of recently, or kind of some practices you've started to put into play that's kind of also helped you up your game a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm even hesitant to share some of these, and I'm willing to do it, number one, because you asked, and number two, there certainly are some in the audience that will benefit. But let me first speak to those that are on the cusp, outside looking in, of doing video. The first time you do something, it's harder than the 100th time, and so on. You know, if we've got agents watching this, look at the first time you looked at a purchase contract. Oh my gosh, makes your head explode, right? Well, now you look at it, you know where the blanks are, you fill them in. Video's the same way. And I only hesitate on these because don't feel like you've got to start out of the gate with these other things, okay? So there's my asterisk, Jason. But the things that I've added after the fact, I did get a little bit of lighting. Not too much, because again, I don't want this to be studio quality. This needs to be authentically presenting who you are to other people. So quick side note, if you're a jerk, don't do video. Because all it's going to do is magnify the personality you already have, and you're just going to be a jerk with a louder megaphone. Okay.
Right.
That's not who video is for. Video is for those that find that there's an electronic gap between them and the people they desire to communicate with. All right. So Jason, I added some lighting. So I've got, just behind the camera, there's a light right now. It sheds a little bit more, balances the view a little bit. And I also got an external microphone. I think I got that just because I felt like I was supposed to have one.
Right.
I don't know that it makes a material difference, but I use one now nonetheless. And then the last thing is.
Yes. Where'd you get that at?
So this, I got online, and the idea I got for it was from you guys. So Ethan is a friend of mine, and I watch that when you guys send out your blast and tips and introductions. Man, you guys pour content out there just to bring value to the video curious or the video user community, and I love that. But I don't have to reinvent anything. I just said they're using a whiteboard. They probably have more time to study what works than I do. I'm just going to take what they're doing, swipe and adapt it. So if I just got this little talk bubble, and what I found works the best. So come here. So this is an insider tip that I found that best works. And the reason why you want to get one of these puppies is because people do get video in their email. And if you've yet crossed that bridge of trust to have a relationship with those folks, if they see a video, okay, there's a video. But if it says, "Hi, Jason," right here, and what I love about too with the tool that I use that you guys provide, I use the Gmail integration, which is awesome. Is it plays the little GIF file, so it's got like a 2 or 3 second loop of a little video. So when it says "Hi, Jason," and you can see on my lips me saying "Hi, Jason," it's like, wait a minute, this isn't
with
just
a smile.
And a smile, right? Then I know this. Wait a minute, this video's to me.
Yeah.
Right. And I found the click-throughs changed, and the amount of conversion and conversations I was able to have went through the roof.
Love it. And I'd say for the whiteboard, if even you're just starting your video game, that's one of those things that's worth doing. Because Chris is absolutely right. And he's iterating. We just got the plain square whiteboards. I love the talk bubble. I think that's super fun, and it is a more engaging way to draw somebody in and actually watch the content that you're sharing with them when it's in an email. And frankly, this also applies to just video in general. When you think about the other platforms where video is going out outside of email, if you're looking at social, you're looking at YouTube, you're looking at what you're doing on Instagram, your thumbnail and the first few seconds of every video that you send, you need to be the most intentional about, because it's the thing that's going to ensure they actually watch the rest of your video. If you're not mindful about what's happening in that first thing, or what's happening in that thumbnail, or what's happening in that animated preview, frankly, you can sometimes just begin creating more noise. And so this is that intentionality that's going to drive the right interactions from people. We just got a great question, Chris, I want to throw to you. Do you send your BombBomb videos in your initial correspondence with the prospect, or to you, does that feel too creepy?
I think that different people are going to fall in different parts of that spectrum, right? So we're just trying to figure out, okay, how many fish can we get into the net and catch as many people as possible? So it certainly, if it's a referred opportunity, either from a past client, obviously in the lending world, realtors are a big resource for us. Financial planners, we work with a lot of financial planners. So there's already that transfer of trust to a degree. Absolutely, we use video for that because it's not going to be creepy, right? We also use video for purchased leads as well for a different reason, however. So the short answer is yes, we use video from the gate, out of the gate for everybody. But the reason we use it is because if people are like in their pajamas doing searches online, you're probably not the only one that they've made one degree of contact with. So they may have 2 or 3 other people that are either talking with them about mortgages or about real estate or whatever your industry is. If you're responsible for generating revenue, either as a business owner or as a salesperson, you want to use that video in that initial correspondence because it gives you the edge. Sales is a game of inches, just like football. And if everybody else has that little clickety clack of the keyboard and they can see, hi, Jason, I was asked to reach out to you. Just wanted to show you that, hey, we're real people helping real people just like you. Let me know what the best way is to open up communication, whether you want to just respond to this email or if you'd like to give me a quick call now, I'd be glad to open up that dialogue. So something like that.
Love it. That script alone, what you just shared is, I love the turn of basically opening up the right dialogue, how you want, right? Giving them the preference to communicate with you their way. So one of the things that I want to start doing, if you're just joining us, welcome. Jason here, host of the BombCast with Chris Brown, a loan officer out of Florida, talking strategies and tactics with video. Went into your account here with BombBomb and looked at just some of the key things that you're doing. And there's 3 examples that I want to kind of be able to dissect and share with everyone. So we're going to play these back. We may not play the full example, but 3 different ways that you're using video. And the first one that we're going to look at is following up with, I'm assuming it's a prospect where you don't have a viable phone number to connect with them on. So do you want to kind of tee this up a little bit for us and kind of how you're using this? Let's watch it and then we'll kind of dissect it a little bit.
Yes, you want me to tee it up, did you say?
Yeah, so how do you use this? I think if I remember correctly, it's like an evergreen video. So you record it once, you use it over and over.
Yeah, so exactly. So there's evergreen videos and then there's the one-offs, right? So the evergreen video is every now and then you'll get a wrong number, whether it's a purchased lead or somebody, fat-fingered it, typing it in or whatever, and you've got a wrong number. So it could just be an error or it could be they weren't ready to talk to somebody. So how do you humanize that element of where they may be and join them in that potential fear or mistake? So
okay. Perfect. All right. We'll have Matt play the example and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Yikes. I think we've got the wrong number. I attempted to reach out to you by the number provided and it didn't reach you. So one of 2 things potentially happened. Either one, you weren't quite ready to talk with a lender to get that good advice to help open this next chapter in your life, or just is a typo. I've certainly been guilty of both of those things in the past, so I don't blame you. Yet we're not sure which one it is. So we really need to rely on you to call us now and to make sure you're getting the help that you've raised your hand and said you were looking for. So looking forward to helping make sure you do get good, sound, local mortgage advice, and we'll talk with you very soon. Bye-bye.
You're back.
All right. So the thing I love about that, Chris, is the amount of empathy that's coming out of you. Just kind of saying, I understand where you're coming from. You might have even fat-fingered it. How is that working for you to kind of empathize with the prospects who, frankly, you haven't communicated with at all?
Yeah, so I have found that there's really nothing that changes your results from here to here, right? But it's all of these different little things that we do. And you've used this word a couple times, and I love it, Jason, is intentionality. You say it better. But being purposeful, right, about what we're communicating. So we want to touch the heart and just be authentic and genuine with these folks. And when they can see, you know what? Yeah, this is a real person here. And one of the things too is on our side of it, on the sales side of it, we got to recognize that internet leads don't suck. You'll hear people say that all the time. Well, you know what? They're people too. And guess what? You've been an internet lead to somebody else. Do you suck?
Right.
No, they are real people. They're just in a different part of the buying cycle. And if you meet them where you want them to be in the buying cycle instead of where they are, that's why you don't convert.
That's good. I love that. I think that, and that's absolutely true. Again, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you got to meet people where they're at and then take them forward from there. So the next example that I want to kind of look at and dissect is we were called the hashtag fail video. And so kind of tee this one up. When do you send out this video?
So the hashtag fail is either we've been reaching out time after time after time and just have gotten no response, because that's going to happen too, right? Or in our case, if we find out that we've lost the opportunity to help this family finance a home purchase. And, before my ego would say, you know what, just delete from my database. But when I kind of got over myself and kind of humbled my own spirit and said, you know what, I didn't win this one. That's my fault, because I obviously didn't demonstrate enough value for them to say, you know what, Chris, you're my guy. So I want to give them another chance and give me another chance to maybe earn that business down the road. So go ahead and cue it up.
All right, we'll play it, Matt.
Hey, this is Chris. I wanted to drop you a quick message and extend my deepest apologies for obviously not well articulating or illustrating the value that we bring at such an important time in one's life as financing real estate. So what I wanted to offer you, having dropped that ball, is two things. Number one, wanted to make myself available 2-3 weeks down the road when you've got your loan approval from the other lender, and to review that on your behalf, just to make sure that you indeed are getting what you've signed up for and that you've got third-party validation for that. What I'd also like to do is extend to you at no cost a complimentary enrollment to our Watch Over My Mortgage program. And what that does is it takes your mortgage terms and compares it against the market on an ongoing basis, so that when there is an opportunity for you to take advantage of the market with a no fees, no cost type refinance, that we're able to proactively reach out and alert you to that fact. So that's the purpose for us wanting to extend this to you, is to hopefully earn the right to work with you again in the future. So may God continue to bless you and those you care about as you open up this next chapter in your life. Just respond back to this email and let me know if you would like that complimentary enrollment to the Watch Over My Mortgage program. We'll talk with you real soon. Bye-bye.
All right, you're back.
All right. So one of the key things, again, is the empathy that's coming out, right? I mean, you can just hear it in the tone of voice. If you were to type that out, that would not translate at all to somebody, but you're empathizing with them. You're slowing your cadence of talk. All of it is coming off with the right posture, I think, is a major factor. Before we get into some of the breakdown, I want to know, how is this working for you? Are you getting people that actually reply back, that are responding to you? What's worked?
Yeah. So before we go too far, I want to give some credit where it's due. That script that I used in that message was adapted from something I learned from Tim Brahim of Performance Experts and Leadership 360. So shout out to them for providing valuable content as well. This is a much newer introduction into our process. But what we uncovered is, people don't buy homes or refinance homes once in their lifetime. So why would we say, okay, we failed then, but now we have valid contact information and have developed a relationship to a varying degree at that point? Why are we going to crumple that up and throw it away? Because it's a lot harder and a lot more expensive to get a new person to talk to than to continue to talk to some of the same people that you have either already been introduced to or that you've already paid to have that conversation with. So why is it going to be a one shot and then just forget them forever? I think that's short-sighted.
Yeah. What have you gotten a response to this? Have you had people reply back to you and any like wins that has come out of sending out that message?
Yeah, we've had a couple where they wanted us to review the results from the numbers from the other lender, because and I apologize on behalf of our industry. All kinds of games are played in the mortgage world, and there weren't any atrocities where it was a big enough deal that they should have changed anything. But I think we were able to save them a little bit of money and say, hey, wait, this wasn't what you had in the beginning. ask them about this. They were grateful. And I don't know if this segues well to the next topic, but guess what? We've gotten reviews with people that we haven't closed mortgages with.
Love it. Love it. So that is, and I want to get that. MK just dropped another comment though. He said that he needs you to do all of his videos and that he thinks he might need a mortgage. So loving it. Now, MK, you need to be doing your own videos and you can be doing this. Go back and watch this. This video will live on. You can go back and look at these scripts. And after we watch this last example, Chris actually has some stuff that he's going to be willing to share with everyone. So make sure you hang out with us. We'll be wrapping things up here in the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. The last thing I want to get into, though, Chris, is one of the things that you've shared with us multiple times that's helped you in your success, and that's getting more online reviews and using video as a way to be getting those reviews. So again, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, your digital footprint and the social proof of the services that you provide is absolutely crucial. It's one of the factors that consumers are looking for when they're deciding who they're going to work with or the services they're going to engage with. I mean, think about the last time you bought something on Amazon. Did it have the 4.5 stars or the 5 stars or the 1 star, right? You go to the thing that has the most stars, and that's going to be true to the people that are providing services. So how has video influenced your testimonial game, your review game online?
So our testimonial system, and I'm going to call it a system, begins from our very first conversations with folks, because it's all about setting expectation. So I'll skip through a lot of the middle, but when I'm signing loan disclosures with somebody in the very, very beginning, I share with them, hey, it is at this point in the process, assuming we've earned it, that we're going to ask for a 5-star online review, because we can certainly say whatever we want about ourselves until we're blue in the face, but that doesn't carry any water, right? But Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer, what you say carries all the water in the world. And assuming we have earned it, we're going to ask for you to share that 5-star review with us online. Now, when we do that, we don't wait till closing. That's worth repeating. We do not wait until closing, because what happens is when closing, if you're in the mortgage and real estate industry, life doesn't get simpler. It gets more chaotic for the home buyer, right? Because they got to turn the water on, the power on, they're moving boxes, getting out of boxes. On the real, we end up almost becoming an afterthought. And while the intention, Jason, continues to, oh yeah, I'm going to do that review. You guys did a great job. The follow through just kind of starts to do one of these. So there's a caveat. There are other times we ask for the review too. I'll touch on that in a second. The main time that we begin stressing the online testimonial is at the point of a clear to close, because then we've technically done our job, but they still need us. Yeah. Right. Get across the line, and they get it. And they understand that when you set that expectation in the very, very beginning, that we're going to ask here instead of here, then when it comes, it doesn't seem out of place. They're grateful to be able to do it, and you remove any friction for them being able to share that review.
So one of the things before we get into this, the video that you sent out, I'm curious, where are you directing people to leave you reviews? Because I know there's a lot of competing ideas out there, and there's not really, I think, any right answer to this. But are you driving them to Google to leave reviews, to Facebook, a different site? How are you handling kind of the online review space?
Gotcha. So that's a great question. And, for those that have a desire to see what my email template is, I think we're going to touch on that a little bit later. I'm glad to share that whole template with your audience. But the 3 main places that we look to get reviews are on Zillow and Trulia, which same company, on Google and on Facebook. And when we ask, we're going to ask for all 3 of them, because different people, are find lesser paths over resistance to do them at any one of those. And I don't know which one that is. Some folks be like, oh, Facebook, I'm on there all the time anyway. I'm on there right now. Boom. And then they do that one. If I just said, hey, do it on Google, and they're a Firefox person, or they want to use Yahoo or whatever, then we just lost them, right? Yeah. So I make the request for all 3, and in fact, I've got an ethical bribe that we introduced this year, Jason, to encourage people to engage. And it's coming from a heart of gratitude that we extend this to them so that they can share their experience for people that follow them.
All right, so let's watch the example, and then we'll kind of dissect this, and then talk about how people can maybe get access to this process and what it is that you're doing.
Okay.
Hey, it's Chris Brown, and I wanted to include a quick video along with this email so I could more effectively express to you my level of appreciation and gratitude for you being willing to do a 5-star review for us online. So in keeping my promise, here are the steps in which to do that. But I've got a little something extra to share with you. This year, we are doing a Yeti cooler giveaway. And it is for a Yeti 35, which is the perfect size because it's not one of those micro sizes that you're like, oh, gee, thanks. And it's not one that is so big, you got to have 4 people just to move it around. So it's a Yeti 35 cooler that we're giving away, and it's a raffle. So you can earn a ticket by doing a Google review, a Zillow review, and a Facebook review. If you do all 3 of those, boom, you just get 5 tickets. So instead of 3, you get 5. So there's a bit more of a bonus if you go ahead and do all 3 sites. And with any fortune, you could be a Yeti cooler richer for just sharing your experience. So thank you again for the trust you placed in us, and we look forward to speaking with you again here real soon. Bye-bye.
All right. I love that. For anyone that's watching, I mean, that is the playbook right there for getting more reviews online and driving that up. I mean, there's so many benefits as well, just to remind people, right? When you're driving people to Google to leave reviews, that's helping your SEO. When they search your name and your company, that's showing up on that main page. They're going to see those reviews. It's happening on Facebook. And if you are in the real estate or mortgage space, that's helpful on Zillow because it's also helping your searchability. So there's so many factors that are at play here of why this is important to your business. So, Chris, tell us a little bit. So you're giving away just 1 Yeti over the course of the year? Are you doing this monthly? What's that giveaway look like?
Yeah, so this is an annual giveaway, and this is the first year that we've done this. So, just like we've been talking about video, the second iteration may be a little different than the first iteration. But this is something that we can extend to those that have entrusted us with such a big responsibility. And it's not a responsibility we take lightly because a mortgage is probably the largest financial commitment someone has made life to date. That's a big deal. Now, what we have found is that as agents experience the user experience when they go through a transaction with us, there are opportunities where we're asking, even to a listing agent, for example, Jason, I'm curious on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, how did we do for you as a listing agent? And if they say we did 5 stars, I'm curious, would you be comfortable just doing a quick Google review for us and just share your experience from your very unique perspective?
Yeah.
Who says it only has to be from the person you did the loan for?
I love it. I love it. That's so good. So couple things here as we kind of wrap up. For anyone that's watching and maybe you don't have a BombBomb account, head over to BombBombFreeTrial.com, BombBombFreeTrial.com, and just start a 14-day trial and practice and do some of the stuff that Chris has just given you. Now, Chris, you said that anyone that either has a BombBomb account or is going to start a free trial, if they send you a video that you would do something for them. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's all about that law of incremental change, right? Taking action. So I wanted to extend an ethical bribe to your audience because I want to support what you guys do at BombBomb. Is if you're already using video, send me a video with your best aha moment or best practice. Why? Because the stuff I'm sharing with you was just shared with me over time. It allows me to then to extend that to you. Share what's working for you because I'd like to become better myself. And if you're on the fringes debating, hey, is video for me? I want to make it really easy for you to send that first video. So you can go to the BombBombFreeTrial.com and just send me a video, obviously with not like a best practice or something yet, but what's your biggest fear or what's like a a custom tip that maybe I can share with you directly one-on-one that it help you get over that hurdle, because you know that putting video in your business is going to change your results. And at the end of the day, that's why we're on this BombCast, is we're all looking to improve our results.
I just shared the link, and I just shared Chris's email address in the feed there, so you can go in and copy that, send him a message. Obviously, if you come back later, the comments live on, so you can just come back to our Facebook page to do that. Shoot him a video. And then, Chris, you also mentioned you'd be willing to share the testimonial template kind of process with anybody that sends you a video that might want that. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I cut my own point short. So see, guys, video doesn't have to be perfect. So when you send those videos to me, as kind of what I'll extend to you is I'll send you that entire template email, the language that I have in there, everything. You'll have the video. You can just swipe it and adapt it. You make the video, though. All right. Don't use me. But make your own video.
That's it. You got to make your video, MK.
You got that's but here's the thing. People do business with people, and MK, they want to do business with you. Yeah. So just share with them your smile, your own natural mannerisms. I'm kind of animated. I wasn't this animated in my first video. That's just as you go through it, the law of incremental change. We make those minor tweaks, and we just get 1% better every week.
I love it. And that's I think the best way to close this down is that 1% change, getting better. That's why we do the BombCast week in and week out, is to help our audience continue to up their video game week in and week out. And I'll just quickly preview, man, this next month for August and the BombCast is going to be insane. Chris has kicked it off beautifully. We've got some incredible guests around the corner. So make sure you're keeping an eye open for that. Wrapping up the end of the month, the BombCast will actually be celebrating its 1-year anniversary on August 30th. And right now, we're in the process of going back to some of our guests that have been on, that got some of the most interaction, some of our super guests, if you will. And we're going to be bringing an incredible panel of people together on August 30th. So that's a BombCast you're not going to want to miss. So thank you guys for your time and attention. As always, we'll be back to our normal time next Thursday. We'll see you guys at 11 Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys. You can do this.